students, this is Sunita Mishra. So today we are discussing the new topic in the chapter acid, bases and salts. So in previous class I taught you about acids. Today I am going to teach you what are bases. So the solution of the substances like caustic soda, lime and washing soda, these are when they are going to test, then they test bitter and they are soapy to touch, that means slippery, so they are called as a bases. So bases are those chemical substances which have a bitter taste, and all the bases change the color of the red litmus to blue, just opposite to the acid. So when bases are added to acids, they neutralize the effect of the acid. So we can also define a base like this, that a base is a chemical compound or substance which can neutralize an acid. Now all the metal oxide and metal hydroxides are bases, like sodium oxide or calcium oxide. It is a metal oxide, and so it is a base, and either it is a metal hydroxide like NaOH, that is a sodium hydroxide, or CaOH2, that is a calcium hydroxide, that can also be called as a base. So either a metal oxide or a metal hydroxide can be called as a base. Then comes to what are alkalis. So alkalis are that most of the bases, they do not dissolve in the water, but the bases, those who are dissolved in water, are known as the alkali. So thus a base which is soluble in water is called an alkali. Now some of the common water soluble bases or alkalis are sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, potassium hydroxide, that is a KOH, or like magnesium hydroxide or calcium hydroxide. These are all examples of the alkalis because all of them are soluble in the water. Now what do all the bases have in common? That means what all the bases contain. So when a base is dissolved in water, so it always produces the hydroxide ions, that means OH minus ions. As we dissolve the acid, it dissociates into H plus ion. In the similar way, a base dissociates and forms the hydroxide ions. Okay, so suppose when sodium hydroxide, its solution, it dissolves in water, then it produces the sodium ions and hydroxide ions. Okay, now I will tell you that what are the types of the bases, that means strong base and weak base. So as like the acid, the bases are also of the two types. How? That means on the basis of the concentration of the OH minus ion, that is the hydroxide ions, the bases can be categorized. Like a base which completely ionizes in water and thus produces a large amount of hydroxide ions is called a strong base or alkali. Sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, these are the examples of the strong bases or strong alkalis. Now what are weak bases? So which is partially ionized in water and thus produces a less amount or smaller amount of hydroxide ions, are called as a weak base, like ammonium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. These are all examples of a weak base. So today I am going to finish up to this. I will teach you the next thing in my next class.